Today I'm heading out to the Chiricahua Mountains. If you saw my video of my hike to Miller Peak, or Miller Canyon, I was able to shoot a short video of the Chiricahuas, which is in the far off distance, but the haze was blocking most of it out. But you'll get to see it today. And as you can see out here, I'm pretty much far into the valley now, and it's pretty wide open. I mean, there's like nobody out here. And if you look over there, those are the Chiricahua Mountains. And one thing I like about this area is I can drive for miles out of town and the mountains don't seem to move. I mean, after a while they move, but you know, it's such a big open area. So now at the Chiricahua Mountains, it's like a whole different world over there, because you see rocks that are shaped differently than anywhere else in the area, which you'll see later on in this video. So it'll take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get there, but it's really worth it. One more thing that I wanted to record before I make it to the mountains. Well, the mountain you see ahead is definitely not the Chiricahuas. The Chiricahuas are a lot bigger and farther away. But one thing I wanted to show you is the trees that I'm ready to pass through. As you know, most of the fields in Arizona are pretty much desert. No trees, just bushes, which die out in the summer. But as we're going through here, there's a river that goes through this area, and the reason why trees are here is because that's where the water is. You know, there's water throughout the year. And this line of trees extends for several miles. I'm not really sure how long it extends for, but it extends for a while. But just thought you might want to see that. One thing that I forgot to point out is that the mountains that I'm approaching right now are the Mule Mountains. It's the mountain range that is on the opposite side of the valley as the Chiricahua Mountains. And as you can see, those are the Chiricahus there, Carr Peak and Miller Peak. As you can see, the mountains are pretty high with respect to the valley. So, pretty soon I'll be making a small turn, and I'll be headed northeast, as a matter of fact. So, alright, well, got a ways to go. We are now approaching the Chiricahua Mountains. They're still about 20 miles away, but they're a lot closer than what I used to be near them. So these are the mountains that I saw in the far off range when I was standing on Miller Peak. But as you can see, there's a lot of peaks that are close to Chiricahua Peak. As a matter of fact, I think I may or may not have the peak in sight, because, well, I mean, I can see the peak, but there's so many other peaks that are just about as high that I can't make out which one it is. But I'm going to get as close to it as possible. So, anyway, I'll be there in about a half hour. Okay, I am now inside the area of the Chiricahua Mountains. It took me a little while to get here because I tried to get as close to the peak as possible, and pretty much it was nothing but just campground, so that's why I had to turn around. But I think you can make out in the video that the rocks that I'm recording are very odd looking shaped rocks. These type of rocks look like a bunch of coins stacked on top of each other. Oh, there we go. There you go, zoom in for you there. Yeah, really interesting. The speed limit in this area is roughly 25 miles an hour, or I should say exactly 25 miles an hour. And there's a lot to see, so it's more like a scenic drive. Really interesting. See they're around me here. I gotta be very careful while I'm driving because, you know, one wrong move, I could end up ramming into a big rock and cause thousands of dollars of damage to my vehicle. That is, if I don't total it. So, excuse my motion of the camera. I just want to make sure my car is on the road. So, it's something that's totally out of this world. You don't see this on the East Coast, not at all. The East Coast is pretty much, you know, very run down with population. I mean, you know, people dig in the landscapes and they, you know, build a lot of structures, and, you know, I mean, the East Coast is beautiful in certain areas, but it's so civilized, you know, you don't really get to see, you know, all of creation. I mean, out here in Arizona and the other western states, with the exception of the west coast of California, where the population is so spread out, you know, there could be no people around for miles. And that's why, you know, places like this are definitely not run down. I mean, there's a lot of tourists here, but, you know, other than that, you know, nobody else is here. Oh, look at that rock right there. Yeah, no wonder they don't want any high vehicles driving through. You know, you'll come in with a roof and you'll end up leaving without a roof. So pretty much for the next 5-10 miles, it's going to be like this. There's another landscape that I want to show you. So I'll cut off right here. As you can see, there's another vehicle coming, so I gotta watch out for things like that. And especially rocks like this that like edge the road. So take a look at some of these rocks here. Some of those rocks look like they were actually hand sculpted or man-made, or, you know, constructed by man, I should say. But the truth of the matter is, none of these rocks were positioned by a sculpture or, you know, human power, I should say, to be more general about it. All these rocks are naturally the way they are. And, you know, what causes the rocks to take that form is the erosion. You know, some of the rocks are eroded by water, you know, like by rain. You know, it's kind of hard to believe that, but, you know, that's one of the main things that causes the rocks to erode like that. So that's one more thing I wanted to fill you in on.